Next up, it's hard enough to find a needle in a haystack, but what about a beetle? Blister beetles have the potential to cause injury to horses if ingested with harvested forage. We spoke with Nebraska Extension entomology educator Dave Boxler to find out more about this potentially harmful pest.
Well, blister beetles vary in size and shape, but can be recognized by their long, narrow bodies, broad heads, and antennae that are about a third of the length of their body. They range from 9/16 of an inch to about 1.25 inches in length. Blister beetles can be found in alfalfa and other crops used for forage. Blister beetles will feed on plant foliage and occasionally cause some insignificant damage to soybean fields. The bodies of the blister beetles contain a chemical called cantharidin, which is a terpenoid that can cause blisters on skin tissue upon contact. Horses are very susceptible to this particular chemical. All or part of the horse's digestive system can be severely irritated, leading to infections and bleeding. The minimum estimated lethal dose of cantharidin is 1 milligram per 2.2 pounds of body weight. And especially here in Nebraska, the three-stripe blister beetle has the most cantharidin of the species that we have here in Nebraska. So the clinical signs of cantharidin poisoning may include blisters and ulcers in the mouth, gastritis, colic, diarrhea, and bloody feces. So if cantharidin poisoning is suspected, please contact your veterinarian as quickly as possible. A way to prevent or reduce the chances of getting cantharidin poisoning requires by the hay producer focused scouting and good management practices. Normally, blister beetles are commonly found on field borders unless there are population of flowering weeds in the fields. The flowering plants attract the beetles because they're going to be feeding on the pollen and nectar of those flowering plants. So scout your field 2 to 3 days before harvest. Also, it would be wise to harvest alfalfa or other hay before flowering of alfalfa. Cutting alfalfa before 5% bloom really reduces the risk of blister beetle contamination. And if sizable blister beetle populations are found, prolong harvest a couple of days and allow the beetles to leave the field. Some people would like to apply an insecticide to kill the beetles in the field at the time. However, research by Kansas State University as well as Colorado State University indicates that dead beetles will still contain a very active amount of cantharidin, and they can be incorporated into the hay upon harvest. And all it takes is about 4 to 6 grams of dried beetles to be fatal to a horse. Another method of reducing or preventing the chance of cantharidin poisoning is changing your harvesting methods. So you might think about using a sickle bar mower or a rotary mower and not crimping the beetles or crimping the hay. So those are steps that you can use to avoid this particular problem.